but I'm excited to kind of see these guys come out of there.
Yeah, and I know that, despite the Capital City Jiu-Jitsu name, they do work quite a bit of Muay Thai. I know Jesse Lee kind of runs the striking out there, who you'll see later tonight.
Awesome. Well, here we are ready for fight number 1 tonight. We have Isaac Hassen versus Kak Ayaj.
Fighting out of the Twin J Transportation blue corner. He's a Muay Thai fighter, standing 6 foot, weighing in at 156.2 pounds, making his amateur debut. Fighting out of Capital City Jiu-Jitsu, fighting out of Lincoln, Nebraska, Kak Ayaj. Fighting out of the Nebraska Lottery red corner, this man's a wrestler, standing 5 foot 9 inches tall, weighing in at 157 pounds, with an amateur record of 0 wins, 1 defeat. Fighting out of Revolutionary Martial Arts and fighting out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Isaac Hassen.
Well, it appears that our announcer has a little bit more different information than I do.
Kak staying pretty calm. Looks like he's getting his using his kicks to find his range. Isaac already showing a lot more patience in his time in the cage.
Man, he's jumping guard here on this guillotine.
Yeah, Isaac needs to fight his hands here.
So we have Kak Ayaj in the black shorts and Isaac Hassen in the, or is that white and gold, Henry? I'm not seeing.
More camouflage from here.
Camouflage, okay. I'm just looking at the video screen, so.
No worries, getting that little glare going. Just want to see guys put their hands in front. Now we're talking. See Isaac jack that underhook, try to get this takedown. Kak keeping his legs close together. See if Isaac drops down to a double.
I mean, they both look like they have a pretty good idea of what they're doing against the cage here. I mean, you don't normally see that with these young amateurs being able to fight on the cage so well. Like
they're a little calmer than I'd expect with amateurs, especially with only one fight between the two of them. The only difference is I don't like how they're that Kak's not getting his base out a little bit more.
Well, look at that. He got that turnaround on the cage. And I'd like to see him be fighting for an underhook there, though.
Yeah, Isaac has the underhook. He just needs to jack that up. Jack the underhook and throw the more like a lat drop.
So if you're Ajay here, what are you going to try to do here? Are you going after the takedown? I mean, obviously he's going after the strike.
I go more body lock from here. He's starting to get that. Oh, good knee, though.
There you go.
For Kak, I want to see him use a jab. He's really got in on his kicks. Needs to throw some hands in front of that, use the jab, find more of a range, and then maybe come up top if they have a head kick. Like I said, amateurs, I haven't seen them yet, so I don't know if that's in their repertoire.
And I see Isaac changing that stance a lot. I'm trying to figure out if he's, if he's got something from that southpaw position or if he's just trying to throw him for a loop.
I know Isaac comes from a striking back or from a wrestling background, and so I'm not 100% sure if he's confident going with his strong side back, and maybe he's more confident with his dominant side forward, and that's why you're seeing him continue to switch sides.
I get that. So I would love to see, obviously Isaac or Hassen wants to be throwing some kicks here. I'd love to see him close that distance with a feint instead of just willy-nilly throwing those kicks.
Oh, he's got to keep that underhook to keep away from getting his back taken. I like the double kick from Isaac before that, going leg to the body.
That's what I was talking about, was trying to close that distance a little bit by, throwing that feint and following it up with something.
Yeah, neither fighter seems to be able to kind of fight in the middle ground. They either want to stay very far out, looking more with kicks, and it's been more slapping kicks. Whereas if they can get just about maybe half a step to a full step forward, you're going to start getting with your shin to their thigh, and then when you hear a thud or no sound at all, you're hitting a lot harder.
So if you're in Hassan's corner, you've done a lot of cornering. If you're in Isaac Hassan's corner, what are you going to tell him to do in this next round?
I'd be looking more for a straight takedown with the double leg as opposed to up against the cage. I think, jack the underhook. You're the better wrestler, but don't Let go of that underhook to give your back up. He's done that twice already for Kak. Look for that back take. Isaac's giving it to you. Go to the back take. Start to put some hands in front of your kicks.
That's great advice, man.
I'd give that to Kak. I did like the knees. I think he could really utilize that a little bit more, especially being the tall, lanky fighter.
Well, let's see what they did and figure out how they changed their game.
I'll give him some credit for one fight between that's been a lot more patient.
As they come out and do that.
And now we're going to turn the volume up on this one.
So obviously he's trying to work for that high guard. I mean, I'd like to see him kind of break him down a little bit more before he's going for that high guard like that.
Yeah, a little bit. You know, get control, get an overhook. One thing Isaac's going to have to watch out, especially with the longer legs of Kak, is that he is going to be more susceptible to a triangle from, he's going to have to be a lot more higher postured up than he's probably used to. Now he's starting to break down, kind of like you suggested, Nate.
Yeah, he's got that he's just trapping him there, though. I mean, what if as Ajah on the bottom, what are you telling him to do here?
You know, it just kind of depends on his game. For him, I thought he was throwing up a good triangle, so I would go more with the overhook, start to find wrist control and look for the triangle. If he's not comfortable with that, though, you know, maybe at least for his first fight, keep the breakdown and hope that the ref stands you up. That's not always the best option.
I mean, it surprises me that you don't see Hassen trying to create a little bit of distance here and actually like drop some blows. I mean, really, he's in a good position. You know, try to move into that half guard, but try to posture up and do something.
Yeah, he needs to get kind of that crossface pressure. I think will start to get him a little bit more distance. I think the grapevine was really messing with this theory. He needs to get rid of this headlock grip that he has.
No, because he's just keeping himself down with that arm underneath like that.
Yeah, and actually, if Kak could kind of duck his head out, he'll go straight to the back.
Now he's building up from the bottom instead of from the top. What do you think he's trying to do there? You think he's trying to pass that guard?
For a second, I thought he was trying to set up an Ezekiel choke, but that wouldn't exactly work from close guard, though I didn't put it past him. I don't know, man.
You know, I mean, in all honesty, I can tell just with my little jiu-jitsu background that these guys don't have a lot of jiu-jitsu, just kind of based on what their game plan is there.
You know, but I'll give that to Isaac in that, you know, he just spent about 2.5 minutes on top, so you're putting that money in the bank for this round.
Absolutely.
That seemed to take a lot of energy out of Kak. You know, it's interesting. Some people, they have really great stamina standing, but if they get nervous on the ground, you'll see the deplete even though they didn't have that much action.
Well, and even if you're, you know, using that muscle to sit there and just pull those guys in, hold that guy in like that to try to get that into that.
Good sweep from Kak.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, boy.
The full guard. Here we go again in a closing sequence in the last 10 seconds of the round.
Man, and I was about to say I thought Kak stole that round at the last minute, but that reversal definitely, I think, saved Isaac.
So what do you got on this?
Man, I'm looking 1-1. I think, you know, Kak was way more offensive on the kicks. I thought he was able to turn Isaac for the first round. You know, you got to give Isaac I think you got to give Isaac the second round. He had if you assume the ending sequence was a wash, you know, he spent more time.
We're waving off the fight.
Oh, Isaac threw up in the cage.
All right.
So that's considered a TKO.
That is so. Oh, I don't want a shot of that. So, well, that's interesting. So if you throw up in the cage, they consider it a TKO. Huh? Why is that?
You know, I guess theory, you're sick, you cannot continue. You're either so exhausted that you had to throw up. Essentially, you're just not medically fit.
I mean, I guess I understand as an amateur fight, it's a good thing to do. I would hate to see a pro fight end that way, even if it was, you know, a body shot that caused it or whatever.
You know, like I said, I think it usually is a testament to your stand-up. You might be having a hard fight, but essentially, I think in the commission's viewpoint, you're not medically fit to fight anymore.
Okay.
At that point.
And we're going to wait for Gabe Brower, who's, I don't know where he ran off to call this fight for us and make it official.
Joe Doherty, your referee tonight in the cage right now. Longtime veteran. If you want to look at one of the pioneers in Nebraska MMA, Joe Doherty beat John Dotson, actually. Fun fact.
The ref stops the action after the second round due to the red corner unable to answer the bell. With your winner by referee stoppage, Kak Ayaj.
Great debut.